Pick a move in the ring. You can hit me with the words you fling.
Hey everybody, we're back. It's Nick Atkin on the South China Morning Post. This is post-fight, and I'm very, very, very happy to be doing this episode because I've been dreaming of it for a while. I'm sure Sasha has as well. Mr. Sasha Palatnikov, my friend from Hong Kong, he's signed with the UFC multi-fight deal. So finally, the dream has come true. Sasha, how is it? How good does it feel?
I'm super happy. This whole moment has been just kind of a whirlwind. It's not something that I kind of expected to happen so quickly. I was kind of anticipating maybe next year, but no, I'm just super excited, and just to be able to visit the PI and get ready for this upcoming fight. With my supplements taken care of, my food taken care of. It's an amazing experience, and this is a goal that I've set over 10 years ago, and to finally accomplish it, it's amazing. I can't really say anything else, but I'm just happy to have accomplished it, and I have more goals to accomplish now. So let's just keep that ball rolling.
Yeah, you left Hong Kong about a year ago or roughly, and you moved to Las Vegas to try and kickstart your dream of being in the UFC. It's all paid off now. What did it happen a little bit quicker than you think it would?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly had like a little side bet going with some of my friends. We were thinking maybe like 6 months into 2021, maybe get a couple more wins after this past win, and the UFC would come calling. But with what's going on in the world currently, and short notice fight opportunities, that was the whole point of coming out to Vegas anyway, was so I could hopefully get on a fight short notice. And this is kind of what happened. My management, I was signed with my management company, Ruby Sports and Entertainment, 2.5 weeks ago. And then 10 days later, they get me where exactly I wanted to go. So it was perfect. I wouldn't change it any other way. And it's just been a roller coaster year for everybody, I'm sure, but particularly this year for me and my career. And what happened in the beginning of the year, I had surgery, and then COVID, and then having an opportunity to compete again, which I was just super grateful just to be back competing. And then here we are, but now we're in the UFC, and now I can really start this career. This is like the real push that I've been working towards. And I think now I'm at the stage where I need to be, and I'm at the platform where I need to be. So I'm excited, and there's nothing better than putting that Hong Kong flag in the cage and on that UFC map,
Yeah, well, I'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, how did it come, this deal with Ruby, how did that come about? Because you've been training out there with Syndicate, with John Wood, and, and then now this is like the next big step. Talk us through that.
So basically for the UA Warriors fight, my original opponent was Omar Hussein, and he is also represented by Ruby. And so we went out there, obviously, as the B side going in, and John knowing Daniel Rubenstein, and we talked a little bit, and unfortunately Omar couldn't compete because of COVID, but then it was kind of I have a new opponent. Then Danny's kind of more on the neutral side now. He's maybe on my side just watching our fight, and he saw I got out there quickly. I guess he liked what he saw, and when I came back to Vegas, he messaged me and was like, hey, would you be interested in signing with my company? And I was like, I spoke to a few people, and I've only heard good things about Ruby, and I've been talking to a couple other management companies as well, and I think it was just a match made in heaven that just all worked out to be exactly how it needed to be. And he sent the contracts, I signed them, and I was like, let's get to work. And hey, if you want to talk about efficiency, that man's efficient. He made it work. He got it done real quick. And he's a straightforward guy, straight shooter, and that's just kind of what I like to be around. So it all worked out perfectly, and here we go.
Yeah, he got it done quick. You got it done quick here in that fight with UAE Warriors. Mm-hmm. Everything's going well, man. And now UFC. What's going to happen though with you have other commitments, or you did, with the belt in AFC in South Korea. Are you now vacating that?
Yeah, I'm now going to be the former AFC middleweight champ. They already announced it today, I believe, on their Instagram that they have, I think, on this December 18th, they will be having their middleweight title fight. But Yeah, I mean, I wanted to defend that belt at least once. I really did. But just because of Corona, there was never really an opportunity for me to go to Korea and compete this year. So I was hoping maybe next year, if I wasn't in the UFC, I get to go back out to Korea. But I appreciate AFC and everything they did for me and giving me those opportunities to compete and fight for a title and be Hong Kong's first world champ out there. So it was awesome. It was good. But now we're moving on to the big shows, and it's exactly as I planned it.
Yeah, you told me when you were leaving, as you mentioned earlier in the interview, that, I'm looking to get a short notice fight there and then get my foot in the door. One of the few, if only, good things I think about this pandemic is it's given a lot of fighters that opportunity a lot more quickly, hasn't it, to get into the UFC. And then if they pick up the ball and run with it, you've seen a few fighters do that already. Just, is that one of the few benefits of this pandemic for you? Has it kind of sped up your plan?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the whole goal of coming out to Vegas was to be here in case someone, pulled out of a fight or there was some short notice opportunity. And I obviously had no prediction of COVID happening, but since COVID came, limited, international travel to the States. So they have to build their pool here in the States to keep putting on fights. And I just thought, first of all, being in Hong Kong, it's my home, it's my city, but I needed to be in an environment that I was getting better and progressing every day and training. And unfortunately, at that time in Hong Kong, I wasn't able to get that. And coming out to Vegas and getting my knee, surgically repaired and getting everything in order training wise was like my number one priority. And everything just kind of, like I said, settled into place. And, like I said, I had a side bet, thought maybe 6 months into 2021, that would be when the UFC would come calling. But hey, if it comes earlier, it comes earlier. I take fights on short notice. 5 days is no problem for me. So 2 weeks is like a full camp. So we could.
Yeah. And as you mentioned, this thing right here is going to be flown in the octagon for, I believe, the first time.
Yes,
Just
sir.
How much pride do you feel at being the guy to do that?
Oh, so much, man. It means a lot. Having represented Hong Kong in rugby and the junior levels and basketball in the junior levels, it was never a thing that I thought as a kid, I'd be fighting in the UFC and representing Hong Kong. But, this was all meant to be. And the fact that I could fly that flag and be a pioneer in the sport and then hopefully motivate young athletes in Hong Kong to also follow their dreams and just believe, because Hong Kong has some very talented athletes, up and comers, and young guys that, if they just keep pushing, keep working, they'll get their opportunity and they'll get their shot. So especially with the Asian Contender Series, I think once that comes up, you're going to start to see a lot of Asian talent and potentially some great talent coming out of Hong Kong as well.
And you mentioned as well, you're going to get to use the PI over in Las Vegas. What's the difference there? Yeah. Have you already been making use of it? And just, is it a complete game changer now?
Absolutely. Huge game changer. I've went in there, I've spoke with the sports science guys. We've done some diagnostic tests, some nutrition tests. I'm already finding out information I didn't even know. I have like ridiculously high metabolism. I had no idea. That's why making weight is so easy for me. They're hooking me up with, all the supplements and free and all the food, meal plans, everything that you could possibly need. It just simplifies everything. I don't even have to now think about what I have to eat. I just know I have food. I'm ready. I just eat and train. And that's like always been my goal in the sport, is just to be fully focused on this, is just competing and fighting. And the UFC PI makes that so easy for you. And you're just surrounded by, such educated individuals who literally know everything that needs to be known in regards to, their specific thing and their specialty. So I can pick minds. I can, if I'm hurt, I go and get physical therapy. I got my recovery there. I got my training there. I got my everything you can need in one roof. So it's amazing. And I'm so glad to have that opportunity to be in a place where it's available. And I'm just, I'm super, super blessed and just super happy.
I could use some of that ridiculously high metabolism myself. Got the lockdown beer gut going. I have to get some tips from you. How do you get a ridiculously high metabolism?
Oh man, I don't know. Just work a lot, just train a lot. I mean, there was a time there, believe it or not, there was a time where I was like 115 kilos when I played college football. I was a big boy. And I was throwing down some calories, like 6,000 to 7,000 calories a day. So I'm guessing I was burning a lot of calories back at that size. So when I come down and got into MMA and dropped weight, now I'm like, I burn like 3,500 calories at rest. So if I just lay in bed all day and do nothing, I burn 3,500 calories. So,
Yeah.
so I'm like, oh, now I got to keep eating. They were telling me I've got room to put on some more weight for my weight class. Like I can grow, I can get a little bit bigger. So I'm pretty happy about that. And put on some size, put on some more weight, and continue to eat. And I'm pretty happy about that.
Maybe I should go play rugby then or something.
Get into it.
Yeah, I used to play at school, but that was when I was 10 years old. What about we should get a picture of you. And have you seen the one with Volkanovski when he's playing Australian rules football and he's just...
Oh, yeah, for sure. I can definitely send you. I got some pictures from the football days.
All right, yeah, we'll get that. Be cool. So yeah, you've got your opponent already. It looks like it's going to be on the next pay-per-view. Is that right? And it's Louis Cosce, who came out of the Contender Series with his twin brother. I think they both won contracts on the same night. Mm-hmm. Tough opponent on paper. What do you make of him? What do you make of that performance? Yeah.
I've looked at his record. I've looked at his fights. He's he's a good example of someone that's. He's had a bit of a padded record. He's fought a lot of guys. If you take a look at who he's fought against, those guys no longer fight or they have losing records. But he's a powerful guy. He's a quick finisher. As you can see in all of his fights, they haven't gone the distance. So definitely got to be careful with this guy. He's got power in his hands. But I believe that he's going to be wanting to wrestle. I think he's going to want to try to take me down. That's what I believe. And same thing with every fight I go into. When I start touching people and they start shooting, but it's going to be a good fight. I feel like it's going to be a good fight, and I'm happy because I'm fighting somebody shorter than me finally, and I'll have that reach advantage. And I'm finally going to be fighting at 170 pounds. I've been fighting at catch weights because of my opponents. I've been all kinds of stuff. So now that I'll get to make weight at 170 pounds and come in and feel like feel like where I am supposed to be. And I know for a fact that I have what it takes to put this guy away, and it should be a good fight on the 21st.
His nickname is the Monster, I think, as well.
He's a small monster, but
yeah. That's cool. I can't wait to see the fight. So it's in Vegas. It's UFC 255. Is that right?
Correct.
Yeah. And how cool is that? You're making your debut on the prelims of a pay-per-view. That's
title
as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Who would have thought, man? Like, the world we live in, you never know sometimes. But, it's an absolute honor just to be on a pay-per-view, first, debut. And, just got to go out there and perform, do what I've been training for the last 12 years and just make sure that I enjoy myself. I'm going to go in there and have fun. And I know that you guys are going to be tuning in. So you guys are going to be giving me that extra push. And it's going to be fun, man. I'm excited. One more week.
I can't wait.
One more week of hard work now. And then fight week will come. And it should be fun.
Yeah, it's crept up on us. Did you, in an ideal world, would you prefer to have a longer, amount of time to prepare for this big moment? Does it increase the nerves or anything like that?
I mean, in an ideal world, sure, I could ask. If I could ask, I would ask for maybe a couple more weeks. But I'm going off of the momentum I had off in Dubai. I didn't really take too much time off with that, and the fact that I was able to come back and get into training and still feel pretty good and not have any injuries was important. And now this opportunity, it's like. Actually, going on a short notice fight on 5 days notice, 2 weeks notice feels like a full camp. So I'm not too worried about it. I mean, the nerves kind of kicked in a little bit in the beginning with the announcement. I'm like, holy smokes, like this is really happening. And then, going and, going to the PI and talking to people and stuff, you get a little bit sweaty. But I mean, at the same time, we're all people, this is stuff that I've been doing. I've been competing in sports my whole life. So this is just something that I've just kind of been used to. And I just feel in my element. And, then when I get in that cage, it's going to be the same thing. I'm going to just take over, make sure that I belong there, and let people know it, so that when I come back, they're going to tune in again, and we'll just keep that ball rolling.
Yeah, and your only recent defeat, the only blot on your copybook was that one against Munir Lazzez in UAE Warriors, and he now went on to go and debut in the UFC too. Mm-hmm. He looked really, really impressive. Mm-hmm. Given everything that happened with your injuries going into that fight and the short notice, I think you took it on 5 days or something, mm-hmm. and all the cancellations of other fights you had lined up. Are you just relieved now to be able to show like the real Sasha, with everything going well, no more injuries, no more stupid catch weights, everything like that?
Absolutely. I mean, that's where, like, there's no way to pre-plan this stuff. It all just kind of aligned correctly. And like I said, like physically right now, I feel great. Like I don't have an injury on me. I feel super good. And this is what all I could ask for is just to come in. I feel good mentally. I feel good physically. I'm happy, and I'm just ready to put on a show. I mean, I'm getting to do what I love to do in front of millions of people all over the world, and that's awesome. And I get to represent Hong Kong while doing it. So it's the best. It's the best of both worlds, and it's in this world that I live in, this career that I've chosen. It's the pinnacle, and to be able to get to that point, it's cool. You know, it's a check on my book that I've always been chasing, and I knew that I could accomplish it. And the fact that I'm doing it now, it's awesome. And I have so many more things I want to accomplish. So let's just keep jumping over those hurdles.
Yeah, Hong Kong will be watching. I'm sure we'll be
Sunday
pushing
morning.
it here. Yeah. We'll get it out there. We'll blow it up big in SCMP. But are you going to be coming back for Christmas or what? I know it's difficult.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. I would love to, now that I've signed with the UFC, I would love to come back to Hong Kong, maybe even run something, do some kind of martial arts thing, do a free class or a free seminar or something like that would be amazing. But yeah, just with travel restrictions, I'm not sure. Maybe once Hong Kong opens up their quarantine, there's a potential that I could come back, maybe early 2021. But we'll just have to wait and see how things go on with this virus. But yeah, I mean, I'm still trying to be with my fiance, who's locked up in France right now. Yeah. So you know what? Let me tell you a crazy story. So on the 3rd of November, I had booked a flight to France to go and see her. And they canceled that flight maybe 5 days before because of the new lockdowns in Europe. So we were obviously upset. It sucked. We couldn't go, but it's out of our control. And then on the 3rd of November, I got my UFC offer. So yeah, it was just crazy. Like I was supposed to be on a plane on my way to France, and then that night I'm getting a text, "You're ready to be in the UFC." So. So
you wouldn't have been able to sign it if you'd been in France, right?
Yeah. So
that would have been so annoying, I imagine.
Yeah.
If they ever come back, right? Oh.
Yeah. I mean, I was actually going out there. I was specifically going out there to be with my fiance, but we were going to go to the south of France, and I have a friend down there who has a gym and a bunch of guys, high level guys training. So I was actually going to be out there training as well as spending time with my fiance, in case something was to come up or a fight was to come up. But with everything that was going on, it would have been pretty hectic if the UFC had come calling at that point, and I've been like, oh yeah, I'm on a plane to France. So that could have maybe, definitely derailed that plan. But I'm just super grateful that it worked out the way it did. But at the same time, I miss my fiance. I want her here. So we're trying to see how we can see each other, if we can meet at a neutral location. But yeah, we're just trying to iron those details out. But she's been backing me this whole time and giving me the positivity that I need to get through this. And yeah, it's just been a crazy year, dude. And
Tell me about it.
And it's just gonna, I think, continue to just, I don't know, just surprise us, because you just never know what to expect these days.
Well, at least you've got the baby cat, Matt Polino, to keep you company, right?
Absolutely. He's a man.
And he's been looking after your actual cat, the Bengal cat. Right?
They're friends now. They're friends now.
Yeah, last time we checked, he was attacking. Your cat kept attacking Matt, I think, while you were out in Dubai.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, man. If you got some food delivered, I think so. Why don't you go eat? I'll leave you alone.
No, it's all good.
Yeah, let the preparations continue, and maybe we'll hopefully catch up with you fight week. Catch you on the
For
virtual
sure.
media. Are you going to be doing all that stuff? Have you got any idea yet?
I have no idea what they want me to do, but I'm down. Fight week, I'll be pretty open. I mean, we can definitely do another interview if it's not scheduled, but we can definitely make it happen. I would love to. This is my 4th interview today.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Damn it. Who are you talking to?
I had some Russian media.
Nice.
Yeah. This guy works for a big news agency in Russia. So I spoke to him this morning, and I spoke to Andrew with Asian MMA, and I spoke with a Canadian guy, Sergio. So, yeah, I mean, a couple people reached out. I said, sure, let's do it. But SCMP is always my number one,
Oh,
so,
yeah.
But yeah, during fight week, whenever you guys want to get together, let's make it happen. If you guys want Matt, maybe on a post-fight for this upcoming card or something like that, or we can jump on that as well. We can
For
definitely
sure.
get involved this next weekend. But yeah, just let me know, dude.
We love it. We appreciate it. You are an OG of this show, the SCMP MMA post fight.
We started from the bottom, bro.
Exactly. I remember this. We were standing in the studio about literally a year ago, and we were doing a podcast, and you said, "I'm heading to Vegas, man. I'm gonna chase that dream." And I thought, I hope it works out. I have no idea if it work out. I'm so happy it did. It's just really cool to see you reach that dream, but I know there's plenty more work to be done, and this is the first step, right?
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah, well, I'm going to have my fingers crossed. I'm going to try and be as unbiased as possible. So I've got to be a journalist. Yeah, a little bit. I think John JHK is going to be interviewing your opponent for us. So I won't have to take my biased hat off. I can be Team Sasha all the way.
Awesome.
No, man, it's cool. And yeah, hopefully we catch up with you soon. Cheers for speaking to us again, man.
My pleasure. It's always a good time.
Cheers, bro.